I recognize the member from Orleans.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker and colleagues. It's great to be here to debate this very important motion, a motion that speaks directly to what families, workers and small businesses across Ontario are feeling each and every single day. The crushing weight of an affordability crisis that this government has done little to address. Now, let's not forget, Madam Speaker, I know they have short memories on that side of the aisle, so let's not forget, 7 years ago, actually it was only a short time after the Premier said that his support for Donald Trump would be unwavering. 7 years ago, the Premier stood up before the people of Ontario and promised an income tax cut for the middle class. Now, 7 years, Madam Speaker, and what do Ontarians have to show for it? Zippo, absolutely nothing. Not only has the Premier failed to deliver on that promise, he's voted against every single opportunity presented by the opposition to ease the burden. Now, we brought forward a proposal to eliminate HST from home heating, something that would directly help families keep the heat on during the coldest winter months. We did that 2 winters ago, Madam Speaker, and the Premier and his government said no. We called for a tax credit to help parents put their kids in sports or sign them up for art class and after-school activities. And the Premier and each and every member of his government got up and said no. And when small businesses, still recovering from the pandemic and now facing American tariffs and rising input costs, when they asked for a break, the Premier and each and every member of his government said no. That's not leadership, Madam Speaker. That is abandonment. Today, the Premier has another choice. He can support this motion and finally deliver real tax relief, or he can once again ask Ontarians to wait. So let's talk a little bit about what the motion proposes, because I don't think maybe everyone has gotten the memo on the other side, Madam Speaker. It's progressive. It's responsible. It is common sense. A tax cut for the middle class, putting money back into their pockets for middle-income earners. The elimination of the HST on home heating and hydro bills, because, Madam Speaker, no one should be taxed for staying warm in the winter or cooling their homes in the summer. And cutting the small business tax rate in half, because small businesses are the backbone of our economy and they need support, not red tape and rising costs. These are practical, affordable, targeted measures that can be implemented now, not someday in the future, not in another election cycle, but today. And make no mistake, Madam Speaker, the need is urgent, because food prices are up. Rent is skyrocketing. Utility bills, despite the Premier's promise to lower them, are actually now outpacing wages. People are skipping meals to pay for medication. Parents are putting off extracurricular activities for their kids because they simply can't make the math work. These are real choices being made in real households each and every day, Madam Speaker. Now, it used to be true. It used to be true that families would have more money left over at the end of the month. Now they have more money left over at the end of the money, Madam Speaker, and it's all happened under this government's watch. Now, Madam Speaker, the Premier likes to say he stands up for Ontarians, but he's not standing up for the family trying to put 3 kids in soccer this summer or hockey later this fall. He's not standing up for people who are struggling to pay their hydro bill or the parent who's working 2 jobs to afford groceries. He's not standing up for local small businesses trying to keep the lights on and the payroll met. What we're proposing today, Madam Speaker, is about common sense. Lowering taxes on families and small businesses to provide them fairness and relief. It's about empowering Ontarians to build their own future and giving them a fighting chance to succeed. Now, Madam Speaker, the Premier likes to often talk about how he gives out his phone number so that Ontarians can call him with their problems. Now, Madam Speaker, the challenge is people who are calling him about the affordability crisis are being put on hold. They're being told to wait. They're tired of waiting for housing. They're tired of waiting for childcare. They're tired of waiting for affordability. And they're tired of waiting for tax relief, Madam Speaker. The time to act is now. This government has had 7 years to take action, and instead they've delivered slogans and photo ops. We're at a tipping point. People are losing faith in their institutions, in their government, and in politicians who say one thing and do another, Madam Speaker. So what are we doing? On this side of the House, we're drawing a line. If you believe families deserve to keep more of what they earn, vote for this motion. If you believe businesses deserve a break, vote for this motion. If you believe that the cost of heating your home isn't a luxury, vote for this motion. It's not complicated. It's a question of priorities. Do we want a government that delivers practical help or one that keeps breaking their word? Madam Speaker, the motion is a test. It's a test of sincerity. It is a test of leadership. And it's a test of whether this chamber is ready to stand with those who are being squeezed the hardest. Ontario Liberals are ready, Madam Speaker. We're showing where we stand. We're standing with working families, with small businesses, and with the people of Ontario who have built this province. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Further debate?